Members of the Economic Freedom Fighters have been tracking this particular story for us in the Free State, and they staged a demonstration outside the surgery of Dr Koos Troskie demanding justice, and police of course confirming that the decomposed body of an unidentified man was discovered last month on a farm along the road between Kroonstad and Welkom. Now let's speak to the EFF's Free State Deputy Chairperson Thomas Macingwane. A very good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. How do you react to the latest developments according to the statement of the police?
Good evening and good evening to the listeners and the viewers at home, particularly the members and the followers of the EFF. Look, as an organization, we are very pleased that ultimately the perpetrator has been arrested, because at the back of our minds and the bottom of everything that we were doing, ours was to seek justice for the late man who was brutally murdered at this farm. So we are very pleased with the developments on the case, and we hope that the South African police will urgently arrest the grandson who is the real killer of the deceased.
What do you know as far as what happened here? Because we just spoke to a reporter who says that according to the doctor here, this was a farm attack, and same as what happened, he says 10 years ago, was a farm attack. What have you heard?
No, look, I think one needs to confirm that we're dealing here with a very delusional doctor, a delusional typical white man who would want to reduce everything to a stream of white killing, of white farmers' killings. But here we're dealing with a clear cut of a murder case whereby a white man could not stand when people stood up against him, demanding what was rightfully theirs, as it's alleged by the farm workers. But above that, when you listen to the stories of this very same Dr. Troskie, you will hear that he speaks of a lot of things. Then he then said that the person that they killed was one of the cable theft perpetrators who are constantly stealing cable at his farm. And then he comes back and say, no, the grandson was trying to demonstrate to the farm workers how to kill a warthog. And then the next thing is people that were attacking the grandson. So this then simply tells you that his sequence of events and the storytelling tells you clearly that there is a deeper motive behind the killing of this person than what he is letting us know. So we are definitely convinced that this is but just one of the brutal murders of farm dwellers that are happening in Free State. And like he has confirmed, as Ishmael has said, that he confirmed on record that 10 years ago he did the same thing. He killed a person on his farm. And then when you look at his record, he does not have a criminal record. Now we're starting to ask us to say, what happened to that case that of 10 years ago where he killed a person and claimed that he was attacked, and he claimed that he was shot at, and then when you at least try to find out where were you shot, then he said no, the guy missed because he was not very good at shooting, so he took a skew shot, then he missed me and then I killed him. That's what he said. So you are dealing here by a habitual perpetrator that is used to do what he did.
What have you handed over to the police? Because Ishmael says that there is evidence that you have handed over. And I remember last night we were watching a snippet where he was saying that he should have gone to the police. He didn't want the body to be eaten by jackals. So what did you give the police?
During the picketing of the Economic Freedom Fighters outside Dr. Troskie's surgery yesterday, in a confrontation that happened between us and the doctor, he on record, on video, as you said that you've seen the video, he confessed there, as you heard, that they buried the man in a shallow grave, as it has been alleged, and he admitted that he should have called the police. And in the other clip, that's where he actually, there's quite a number of videos that we handed over to the SABC that they are going to use as part of the evidence in this case.
We do understand that the man is a Lesotho national. Have you been in touch with the family? Have you been able to locate them?
No, we have not yet been able to locate the family. However, just before we left a police station, Kroonstad police station, the police informed us that they are in communication with the family, and then in due course they will let us know as to say how can we communicate with the family, because we had also offered our support as the EFF that would want to assist the family in whatever possible way to make sure that their loved one is buried in a proper way.
All right, let's see then what happens with this developing story, because we've reached out to the police. They sent us a statement. We simply wanted to get a bit more information from them, but thank you so much for talking to us. That was the Free State Deputy Chairperson, Thomas Macingwane. As we mentioned earlier on, that police in the Free State have confirmed that they've arrested an 80-year-old man for murder and defeating the ends of justice, and they say that the possibility of more arrests is there, and also saying that the suspect is expected to appear in court soon. So we do know from what Ishmael has been able to tell us, this is a Lesotho national. So if you were confused earlier on about these two cases, he says that 10 years ago, the doctor says 10 years ago, he killed somebody in a case, according to him, that would have been self-defense. But now there is a body that was discovered on around the 20th of August, and that was the subject of why the EFF was then protesting outside his surgery. So certainly we'll continue to watch this developing story for you, because it really just keeps on getting complex with all the layers that need to be peeled here. So we'll continue then to track it for you.